Folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for the City of Toronto for week ending February the 9th, 2022. You know, when I go through the charts, there's a lot of numbers I talk about. I talk about sales, listings, percentage changes year over year. There's one number I don't talk about, and that's how many properties did not sell. Well, I could tell you for last week ending February the 9th, for detached properties only, and only in the City of Toronto, 40 detached properties came off the market as not sold. Listings were either terminated or expired. They did not sell. How is this possible in an extreme seller's market? Well, last year we went to a listing appointment in August in East York. Part of the listing appointment, you know, we talk about a lot of different things, the marketing and so forth, but naturally a big part of the listing appointment, especially what's on the seller's mind, is how much is my home going to sell for? Well, for that home we picked 2.3 million, but we also explained because of the way we manage the listing, and it's hard to gauge what really the demand is, there's a chance we're going to be higher, maybe 2,350, maybe even as high as 2.4. Well, the seller tells me that they recently spoke with another agent, and that agent told them 2.7. That kind of didn't make sense to me. I was scratching my head wondering what's going on. So I'm looking at the evidence, and well, I stuck to my guns. It didn't make sense to me, 2.7. I'm thinking 2.3 to 2.4. Well, we didn't get that listing. The seller called me a couple days later and said they're going to go with the other agent. Fine. Well, that property did not sell. It stayed on the market, it did not sell, and it was later expired. And last week, that seller called me saying, will I please relook at their property? They need to sell. Can I help them sell it? Hiring a realtor based solely on that realtor giving you the highest sales price is a huge mistake that is so easy for sellers to fall into. Just because the realtor tells you that this is the price it's going to sell for doesn't make it so. That realtor could be wrong. We show the evidence, and the realtor should be showing you the evidence and convincing you that that's the price that makes sense. So be careful if you're looking to sell. The realtor should really be your consultant and really have the evidence why, not just pick a number out of the blue and on purpose pick a high number just to win over the listing. It'll cost you. Let's get into the numbers. If you want to talk to us at all about your real estate situation, it's really simple. In the description below this video, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a date and time that's convenient for you. This way I'll know ahead of time. I'll make sure my schedule is available so we could talk about whatever's on your mind. So who's buying these properties these days? I'm going to show you. The numbers are through the roof in all home types. Who's buying? Well, I got to tell you, we're seeing everything out there. We're seeing brother and sister getting together, living in one house so they can afford to buy. We're seeing people tripping over themselves to come up with more money to try to buy. We're seeing parents whose home has appreciated 30, 40, 50% in the last few years, pulling equity out of that to help their kids. We're seeing foreign buyers come in here. We're seeing mortgage fraud. Yes, I said that out loud. We're seeing people trying to get all creative with how they qualify for mortgages to be able to buy. We're seeing people scrambling just to, as long as I can afford it monthly, I don't care how much I spend, as long as I can afford it monthly. everything's out the window for anyone who wants to get into the market right now. It's absolutely nuts. We're seeing all of the above. Let's get into this. Here we have City of Toronto only, detached properties only. We sold 184 detached properties last week. It's up 2 from the previous week. 61 of those sold at $2 million or more. That's a third. A third of all properties sold at $2 million. Average sold price is sitting at $2,045,000. Just over $2 million bucks. A year ago around this time, it was just under 1.7. Now it's over $2 million bucks. $2,045,000 is 22% higher than what it was last year at this time. So average sold price 22% higher. Median price is 21% higher than what it was last year in the same time period. So 22%, 21%. Average sold price way up in the course of 1 year. Of the 184 that sold, 91% sold at list price or more. Now last year, we were bragging when it was 70% of properties selling at list price or more. This year, it's 91%. Of course, prices got to be higher than what they were a year ago when there's far more competition. 298 were listed, and months of inventory is sitting at 0.6 months of inventory for detached properties in Toronto. And that's all Toronto, the City of Toronto. No suburbs in this. There's no York Region. There's no Durham. There's no Mississauga. Just the City of Toronto. Well, let's break the City of Toronto down into Central, West, and East. Here's the breakdown with the 3 there. But if we focus in, say, on the West side, months of inventory is sitting at 0.4 on the West side of Toronto. Average sold price is just under 1.7. Sold at list price or more, 96%. Very competitive. Average sold price is 11% up from what it was a year ago, and median price is 21% higher than what it was a year ago. Let's look at Central. Months of inventory is sitting at 1.1. So it's the highest of all the between East and West, is the highest part of Toronto as far as months of inventory goes. But average sold price is just under $3 million bucks. The lion's share of the luxury properties are in Central Toronto. Well, 78% of those sold at list price or more. Average sold price is 25% higher than what it was last year at this time, and median price is 19% higher. But man, the average sold price, almost $3 million bucks. Let's look at the East. The average sold price is $1,520,000. The East part of Toronto, months of inventory sitting at 0.4. We sold 69 detached properties in the East. 97% of those were at list price or more. That's basically all of them. Average sold price is 22% higher than what it was last year, and median price is 28% higher than what it was a year ago. Let's look at semis. Now I put the yearly chart for semis. I don't always do that for semis, but we sold 62 semis. 27 of those were at 1.5 million or more, almost half. A year ago, semis were sitting on average of around 1.3, a little bit more. We're now sitting at 1,502,000. 1,502,000 is 16% higher than what it was last year at this time. Also, median price is 16% higher, and sold at list price or more is 89%. Months of inventory, 0.4. Here's townhouses. Again, I've got the 12 months. I got the year of townhouses up. Last week we sold 28 townhouses. Half of those, 14, sold at $1.5 million or more. Average sold prices shot way up, $1,544,000. That's a record price. But a year ago we were sitting at just over 1.2 million. Let's forget about the record price of 1,544, but we're sitting well into the 1.4 and a half. You know, it's a $250,000 increase in a span of 12 months. The 1,554,000 is 27% higher than last year at this time. The median price is 26% higher. 93% of the townhouses sold at list price or more. So all of them, everything's selling at list price or more. Maybe we should just say that once and that's the end of it. Months of inventory is sitting at 0.4. Let's look at condos. Sales are pretty good. We sold 409 condos. When I say pretty good, we're comparing it to the last few months, but compared to a year ago, we're less than a year. We'll get into that in a second. So 409 condos were sold. 54 of those were at $1 million or more. Average sold price breaks a record. $814,000 is the average sold price for a condo in the city of Toronto. $814,000 is 25% higher than what it was a year ago. The median price is 24% higher. So 25%, 24%, same thing, right? Well, 409 were sold. Again, it's much less than what it was last year at this time, but 82% of those 409 sold at list price or more. We listed 637. It's nice to see listings coming up. We listed more than we did last year at this time, and we listed more than what we were listing last week. So it's nice to see more listings coming up. But months of inventory is sitting at 0.4. Very competitive. And looking at all the months of inventory, it's like, I think we got to readjust what's considered a balanced market, because if any of these ever get to 2 months of inventory, we're all going to be like, oh, this is amazing. It's so exciting. We're not even getting to 2 months, never mind between 4 and 6 months for a balanced market. This is an extreme seller's market. It's been like this for a while. People talking all sorts of things out there. It's very competitive. It's so important you're working with somebody, a realtor that knows how to navigate and can help you through this market. We are in uncharted waters. We got to figure this out, and it's so important to have a strategy. If we can help in any way, please. There's a link in the description below. Reach out to us. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.